the officials. We're ready to go, and let me introduce you to my co-commentator alongside me, Charlie Broom in the commentary box, is the Olympic gold medalist, Dane Blanton. Dane, introduce us to the players and tell us what we can expect from them and what their strengths are.
Well, you can expect from Pedro Solberg, one of the best technical blockers that we've seen on tour. He's been around for some time, 18 victories he has on the FIVB, and he's done it with 6 different partners. So this guy's interchangeable. He can play with anyone, and he has been successful with anybody that he steps on the court with. Remember, him and Evandro, his former partner, finished in 9th place in Rio de Janeiro in the 2016 Olympic Games. His partner, one of my favorite players. Why? Because he's one of the quickest athletes you will ever see. Knows how to control the ball, to dig the ball and place it exactly where he wants to. He's just 23 years of age. And of course, that is Gustavo Albrecht Carvalhais, but he goes by the name of Guto. Look out for his defense in the backcourt. On the other side of the net, Martin Ermacora, 23 years of age, 203 centimeters. He's a full-time blocker, and he'll be patrolling the net. If this Austrian duo is to make any noise against this Brazilian duo, he is going to have to control the airspace and win the blocking battle against Pedro Solberg. His partner, at just 21 years of age, this is the youth of Austrian volleyball, Moritz Pristauz. He's 192 centimeters tall, and he is a defensive specialist, looking to make things happen in his first world championship. This team from Austria, very young, but they will have the crowd on their side, going 100% every time. This is a tall order to take down these Brazilians, but anything's possible here in this Red Bull center court.
Yeah, the atmosphere for the previous match for Doppler and Horst really lifted them. Well, the temperatures dropped markedly, 35. That's not a problem at all. And here we go.
Yeah, the sand temperature just 35. You know, the sun has gone down, so it will not be a glare factor for the players. And there's a slight breeze. Perfect beach volleyball conditions. Pedro Solberg, right off the bat, showing that he's focused and absolutely means business.
And there he is again, making the block, but this time it falls out.
As I mentioned, for the Austrians, their first world championship for Pedro Solberg. This would be number 6.
Yeah, you mentioned his 9th place finish at Rio with his former partner. He won the bronze medal, didn't he, with Evandro 2 years ago in The Hague. Love to go 1 or 2 steps better if possible.
Just beautiful offense right there by the youngsters. That's what it takes, you know, that nice platform out early. They pass the ball well. They get the set to the right position. And you always want to beat Pedro Salgado Solberg to the spot.
Oh, the service ace makes it 3-1. There's been one shock already in the draw today, and Alvaro and Simon, the #1 seeds from Brazil, beaten today. And so they are out. They were in this quarter of the pool. They lost to Varenhorst and Van Garderen, 21-17, 21-18.
Varenhorst and Van Garderen, that's a new team. Varenhorst used to play with Reinder Numador, and they finished 2nd in the previous World Championship. So it is an upset, but Varenhorst has been there. He's huge, and if his block's on, he has been such a great player. But a new partnership, obviously, it's starting to click, huh?
So good start by the young Austrian pair. But it's going to be interesting, isn't it, as Brazil go through the gears that we expect them to, how do the Austrians respond?
Austria they have to stay calm and they have to stay steady. As they are, this is a beautiful start for Austria. This is exactly the start that they need. Just hang with Brazil and then try to strike at the end of the set.
Pristauz coming up just short.
Beautiful shot by Guto. I mentioned Guto, just 23 years of age, and this guy's already got 2 victories under his belt, playing with Simon last year, one in Cincinnati, and then he won the Porridge Major earlier this year. Look at that jump float. Moving all over the place. And if you're Austria, try to slow down the momentum. These are momentum-type players, the Brazilians, and when things start to go their way, it's almost like it's a snowball effect. It's an avalanche coming at you. You have to limit the bunches of points that you give Brazil.
Ermacora winds up that huge spike.
Ermacora acting as if Pedro Solberg is not even at the net. He just rips that one.
He's grown through the tournament as Ermacora. He was a little lost in the first match, but they played here on the center court against Skavira and Herrera.
Here's
no, sorry, go ahead.
Nice shot right down the line by Pedro. Not a lot of room to work with, but using that experience to his advantage.
It's been a strange tournament for the Austrians. They really got going in the middle of their second game. In the second game against Pedlo and Shakhtar of Canada, they lost the first set 11-21. They were all over the shop, but they came back really well, won the second 21-18. Okay, they lost the third 15-11, but it kind of kick-started them into gear, and then they won their final pool match against the Indonesians, 21-18, but 21-12 in the second. And that scoreline in that second set in their final pool match actually meant that they were one of the 4 best third-place finishing teams. They didn't go into the lucky loser round.
Yeah, and if you're wondering how the format is, you got 12 pools, 4 teams in each pool. The top 2 teams automatically get to the round of 32. And as Charlie, you just said, the top 4 third-place teams also get to the knockout round. If you're the worst 8 third-place teams, you make the lucky loser round. You have to play in to the round of 32. And so what we're seeing right here is the Brazilians who won Pool 8 3-0. They won all their matches. And then a third-place team in Austria coming out of Pool I. Ermacora getting a lot of action early on.
Pedro going down the line.
Very impressed with Austria so far. They're hanging tough. Remember, on paper, Brazilians the 8th seed, the Austrians the 40th out of 48 teams. And so, looks like a big lopsided match, but not so far. The Austrians are hanging tough. Ermacora once again ripping that ball. Guto somehow gets it up. Pristauz keeping it in play, and then Ermacora not clearing the net. That's what Brazil will do to you. They will continue to give themselves opportunities, keep putting it on your side of the net, and finally the Austrians make the error.
And they've called a timeout as well. And, it's only 2 points against them. Maybe they could have carried on. It's quite a key part, isn't it, the timeout? It's a real, an important part of the game.
Yeah, well, you only get 1 per set, so you want to use it wisely. And Brazil had scored 4 of the last 6 points, and maybe that's concerning to the Austrians. Of course, they will have that technical timeout at the culmination of 21 points. But, you know, sometimes you just got to stop the bleeding. You just feel that momentum pulling away, and you want to keep this thing manageable before it gets out of control.
So Solberg floats it to Ermacora. And Ermacora finishes with a plum.
Wow. Just an absolute thunderous hit by Ermacora, the 23-year-old. Just lights it up. Not a lot of space to work with, but he makes that one look easy.
Pristauz has read that one down the line now. Can he finish? No, he can't. They're going to challenge. They think he got a touch off the attempted block. So we go upstairs and let's have a look.
Yeah, I think that's a really good call to take a look at this.
Pedro said yes, he did touch it, so that's what we like to see.
A little bit of sportsmanship. Pedro Solberg giving it up. Hawkeye would have revealed that anyways. I'm sure he knows that.
Ermacora wears that one. That happened in the first match, and it actually it knocked him off his stride for the rest of the set, getting the ball in the face.
That's part of the gig. When you're a blocker, that is going to happen to you. Oh man, did he take it right off the face. The hat flies off. And let's see how he recovers after that blow.
He's had a ball in his face every match. And I've done a lot of teams every match. He's the only one who's picked one in the face every match. But they get to the technical timeout all level, and that is an important down by one, sorry, and that's important for them to be so close.
The Austrians hanging in there. You know, with that ball in the face, maybe he needs to push his face down more instead of looking up. You don't want to be looking up when you block the ball, or that'll happen more times than not.
Well, he's a youngster. He'll learn that as he goes through his trade. Let's have a look in the virtual Red Bull Arena at the Brazilian service placement.
Service placement going to the right side of the court, and that's where Ermacora is. So that's the strategy right away. Ermacora, a big hitter at 6'6", 203 centimeters tall, but the Brazilians opting to go to him. They believe that they can score more points going that direction.
Well, they'd have done their homework, that's for sure. Watched a lot of videos. The tactical serve to Solberg, just dropping over the net. Pristauz does really well, doesn't he? Can he finish it off? No, he can't. Solberg is there. Climbs the ladder to make the block.
A beautiful play by Pristauz, but he can't complete it. I always say, you got to dig the ball and then you got to convert in transition. So once you dig that ball, you become the offensive player. And great players learn to put that ball away. Solberg Salgado makes him pay right there.
It's time to go to Pristauz. That's his first service receive, isn't it, from the match?
Yeah, the strategy has been to go to Ermacora, and Brazil deciding to switch things up, trying to test Pristauz, and that time they get an answer why they haven't gone to him thus far.
Well, it's quite a clever tactic, having missed the last one, being the offensive player, putting it into the block of Pedro. So we'll have another go and see how you fare this time. He has the answer. Oh, good get. But it's still advantage Brazil. Guto sets, and Solberg unleashes the right arm.
Pedro Solberg Salgado was Team of the Year way back in 2007, I believe, with Harley Marquez, and poised to go to the 2008 Olympics, but they just missed out, losing and coming in third position. And here we have a challenge?
No, it's a service error. Oh, there is a challenge.
I think that the server might have taken off outside of the sideline, which would be illegal. The referee explaining to Pedro exactly what happened, and he wants a replay. So it's a foot fault, which is a challengeable instance, and so that's why he's going to get a look. There you go, the line judge waving the flag. And it's not where you contact the ball, it's where you take off. So it's not technically, there he is. His right foot is wide of the sideline.
Good spot from the line official.
Yeah, and that is an illegal move. We haven't seen a foot fault going wide of the court. I haven't seen that in a long time, but right there, really great refereeing.
Ermacora finishes down the middle, levels it up at 13-all. Service error, handing the advantage back to Brazil.
So Brazil trying to mix it up. You know, the strategy of going to Ermacora, I guess you'd say from this point, has backfired. He has held his own and he has done his job.
Oh, that's some work from Guto. Now the advantage back with Austria. Guto makes the block, but Austria still had the advantage, and that's left-handed, wasn't it, from Ermacora?
It looked like an open hand push, and that's why Pedro Solberg is complaining. Hopefully we'll get a look at that very last play, but what a unique rally. Guto takes one off the chest, not even using his arms, and then he goes to the net, becomes a blocker. Guto getting up and over the net. I don't think I've ever seen him in the position to block. But an athletic play by Ermacora with that left hand to put it away. Salgado thought that was an open hand attack, which would be illegal, but definitely it was not after seeing the replay. Pedro Solberg facing cross court and then just rifling it down the line. You cannot give him any opening. Such a dynamic player. A little undersized as a blocker at 6'4", but so technically sound.
Off the block. And Solberg not happy, just having a word with the referee. Was it for a double touch or a lifted ball that he was asking for?
Well, regardless of what it is, he's not going to get the call. Pedro needs to focus on the game. Stop chipping away to the referees and focus on the task at hand. And the Austrians, they're just frustrating the Brazilians.
Well, I said they'd grown through the tournament, Dane, and they're having an absolutely flyer at the start of this match. He hangs tall, doesn't he?
Ermacora at 6'6" has a really strong vertical leap and his technique really solid. Brazil has seen enough. This has to be frustrating. Brazil for sure thought that they would have some separation between themselves and this Austrian team by now, but Austria hasn't given away any points. They've made Brazil earn every single one of them.
They've just linked pairs of points together, haven't they, in this match, and that's sort of kept them with Brazil. It's come at the right time for them. The crowd getting involved again. It really is a fantastic arena. Everyone getting involved in the Mexican wave now. Business at hand for the Brazilians here.
This crowd so excited, so knowledgeable. Anytime the FIVB Tour comes to Austria, it's a big deal. Of course, this year in Vienna, the World Championships. And when Austria plays, there is not a seat left open in the house.
Pedro Solberg unleashing the arm, but it's picked out. Oh, that is some get from Guto. What a dig from him. Can he finish? Ermacora makes the block. Oh, he's overset it. Pedro Ermacora. Oh, what a rally. Can Solberg finish it off? The set isn't brilliant. Ermacora doing the defensive work. Now he can attack, and then he wins the point. What a rally. Pick the bones out of that, Dane.
absolutely spectacular. One of the best rallies I've seen here at Red Bull Center Court. Guto, spectacular layout, and then great control at the net by Ermacora. He puts the ball over the net, but he makes amends, plays defense.
This is a great dig here.
Finally, it is Austria ripping, and once again, Guto ends up at the net. So Brazil completely out of sorts throughout that rally, not being able to set up. And Austria with this 2-point lead. Big question, can they continue this high level of play?
Pristauz floats it to Pedro Solberg. Solberg, he'll be frustrated off the Ermacora block.
Oh my, Brazil, all of a sudden, in the fight of their lives here for their World Championship life to stay in. Wouldn't this be something?
Wouldn't it just? Oh, real power. Pedro can't get there. They maintain the 2-point buffer. They are playing inspired beach volleyball right here, the Austrians. And the crowd respond. And they're almost feeding off this energy from the crowd.
Pristauz absolutely unleashed that ball cross court. Quick tempo to the outside. The Brazilians trying to make Ermacora move laterally and not get set up in front of the offensive attacker. You see a traditional set is kind of up and down, but a shoot set to the outside or a back set, that is made to move the blocker laterally left and right, and Ermacora has really been adjusting well.
Guto says to Pristauz, another change of tactic, but Pristauz equal to it. They're holding their nerve at the moment, aren't they, the Austrians?
Well, the damage has been done. They have this 2-point lead. They just need to receive serve and hold on for 2 more points.
Pristauz goes to Pedro Solberg. Guto with the set. Solberg gets cute, and they both go for the same ball. So Brazil close it back to 1 point. This is a huge point.
This is everything right here. You've worked for this point to finish it off. This would be a dream come true for the Austrians.
So Solberg will serve. Ermacora, this for 2 set points. Off the block, and it is 2 set points. The first will be on the Ermacora serve. The second, should they need it, on the Guto serve. They're getting the letters sorted out. He needs to lift the P. There you go, set point. Pedro Solberg to keep the set alive. Nicely done.
Now Austria, all the pressure in the world, in a great position to steal this first set.
They serve to Ermacora. This for the first set. Wide, they're going to challenge for the block touch.
Pedro Solberg says, no way. This will be very interesting to see. So the ball was hit directly out of bounds. The Austrians believe there was a touch on the block by Pedro Solberg. And this is really everything for the Austrians.
Do you think this is more hope than expectation?
You know, I have no idea. The way that Pedro reacted, he acted as if there was no way. Here's a good look. No touch. Wow. It couldn't have been any closer. And how about that? We're all tied.
Was that their moment, Austria? third set point, but they're going to have to win a point on serve.
It was so crucial, that last side out for Austria. They've let Brazil back in it. Now they need to still close the door.
Well, they've gone to Guto. He really rips through that, 21-all.
A miraculous comeback for Brazil. Looked like Austria was gonna steal this thing, and that ball hit out of bounds. The touch that was ever so close, and now it's an absolute dogfight for the Austrians to finish.
Solberg lobs it to Ermacora. Ermacora goes cross court. Set point number 4. And sooner or later, you'll feel maybe the pressure might tell for Austria, but they've got to win a point on serve. Ermacora now has the go.
Ermacora needs to make a block at the net, or they need a defensive play in the backcourt.
This could be it. So Pristauz for the first serve. They've got it. Austria take it 23-21. The form book is out the window. Look at the reaction of the crowd. You said they needed a backcourt play. They got it. Onto the line.
And it couldn't have been a closer margin. Just on the outside of that back line, Pristauz with a beautiful defensive play, that right-handed stab. And Ermacora and Pristauz, the final entry into this World Championships. They got the 40th seed on a wild card entry, really giving the number 8 Brazilians all they can handle. Pretty even, blocks, aces, service errors, but it was just a couple of plays where Austria closed the deal.
Well, here's the Austrian service placement. Look at that, it's all at Solberg. Well, Guto's taken a couple of those ones in the middle, but essentially it's all at Solberg, isn't it?
Yeah, that's been their strategy, and it worked. It was effective. It wasn't they necessarily stopped Solberg that many times, but they did get him in trouble. The strategy for the Brazilians, though, going to Ermacora, I'm a little baffled by it. Maybe they know something that I don't, but Ermacora has been so steady. You have to switch that strategy up and maybe try Pristauz. Give him a shot and see if he'll give you a few points.
Certainly Ermacora has been much more steady today than he has been in the previous 3 matches. Having seen the previous 3, I can understand, but you need to think on your feet, don't you, in this intense environment, and work it out and then try something different. And that's the key. Far easier said than done from the commentary box, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. You go in with a game plan, but you're absolutely right. You have to start evaluating, is that game plan working? You know, what Ermacora did yesterday, you throw it out the window if he's all world today and he's making every single shot. And that's been the case so far.
So, Pristauz to keep it alive. He's done that, but advantage very much with Brazil. Can Guto finish? Yes, he can.
Yeah, it's one of those situations, Brazil dealing with Ermacora. Right there, they get a block on Pristauz. Ermacora lays it out, and I love the effort. Every single play, these guys are going for broke because they just don't know when that play is that could turn it around.
Well, last night we called Schützenhofer, didn't we, with Schweiger, and you were impressed with Schützenhofer's hustling around the backcourt. You've got the same here with Pristauz and Ermacora, haven't you?
Well, they know this is such a special opportunity for them. Being the final entry, getting the wild card into this event, and there's a block. Finally, Pedro Solberg getting that block. If you get a wild card, that means you weren't eligible through continental qualifying and you weren't eligible through international points. You basically got the wild card, and they're the home country, so they can do that with the promoter. They know it's a huge opportunity, and I think they're trying to seize that opportunity and leave it all on the court. It's a really great thing to watch.
Guto makes it 4-1.
Guto up high and over the net. The Brazilians, they just haven't really gotten on a roll in that first set. They come out absolutely on fire here in set 2, though.
Yeah, they're making up for it, aren't they? And they lead by 4 points to 1. And well, can Austria just stop the rot?
Fine, okay.
Pristauz not interested in the cold towel at all. He's loving every minute of it, isn't he? Gulping the air in, but
he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's relishing the moment, isn't he? And why not?
He doesn't need a timeout. He wants to be out on that court and ready to go. And why wouldn't you? Because right now, let's be honest, Austria's playing at a higher level than they're used to playing. I mean, you've seen every single one of their matches, Charlie, and Ermacora has stepped his game up tremendously here in this knockout round.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. So timeout used early by Austria at 1-4. Guto serves to Ermacora. They still pepper the taller of the two Austrians. And Solberg makes the block. And well, Austria not under as much pressure as the Brazilians, of course, because of the fact they've won that opening set, but still they've got to make a good effort. They don't want to let the Austrians get their tail, the Brazilians, sorry, get their tails up too much, because should it go to a third, the momentum you feel would all be with Brazil. Now Solberg has a little look, goes for the little knuckle shot, comes up short.
That was a really amazing play. You don't see that very often. Solberg faked at the net, dropped into the angle, made the play, but he couldn't complete it. And so Austria getting that second point here in the second set. But you can tell Brazil is not going to sit around and let the game come to them. They're trying to force the issue. They want to get a good cushion here in set 2.
Just wide, just wide. I thought it was a fantastic cut shot.
Head referee was all over that one, called it out immediately. And no dispute from the Brazilians.
Again, Pedro, the recipient. This time he makes a shot down the line.
Pedro's such a smart player. You think when you miss a shot down the line, the player's going to go to a different spot, but he goes right back to it. And that time, the shot is sweet.
Yeah, Pristauz at the party.
Pristauz getting a little more action here, to be expected, and showing you a reason why they didn't go to him early in that first set. He's got such accurate shots.
They're still going at Solberg, the Austrians, and Solberg continues to have the answers.
You know, I like that strategy because, you know, Solberg is that power player, and Ermacora thinks that he can line him up, get a few blocks with that power. If they go to Guto, they have to deal with all sorts of the shots, and he has such great court vision, so hard to read.
Well, Pristauz is accounting himself very well.
Up high, challenging Pedro Solberg, and a beautiful angle shot right there. Great deception.
Now they go to Guto.
Too tight.
Yeah. And Pedro rolls it into the empty court.
You could just see it right away. When that ball goes up to the net as a set and it's too close, the blocker all of a sudden has that advantage because the feet are already under the ball, and 9 times out of 10, that blocker is going to win that situation.
Guto gets his body on it, but too much power from Pristauz.
It's just really amazing to watch this crowd. It has been packed all week long from when we began last Friday. And the energy. I remember playing in Klagenfurt, Austria, and the crowd really just gives you a charge every time you're out there. Doesn't matter what country you're from, they're always cheering.
Good dig from Pristauz. Can he finish? No, because Guto equal to the spike. Ermacora loses the joust.
Always the shorter player having leverage usually wins the joust. Look at Pristauz everywhere. And here's Guto with the joust. Simultaneous contact. He has the leverage, pushes up into Ermacora's block and gets the point.
Well, that's desperately close to the net. Guto does well, but the advantage still with Austria. Now, Ermacora has to reach back. That's a better set. They had 3 bites of the cherry there, Austria, and they couldn't take any one of them.
Have to capitalize on opportunities at this level. Usually you just get 1 opportunity. They had 3 there. Still couldn't put the ball away. And Brazil up 4.
Ermacora fires through the block.
This one goes right off the left hand of Pedro Salgado. You can see the frustration on his face. Really hasn't gotten things going here in this match. A little tight.
Yeah, but Guto does well. Advantage to Austria. And they take it.
Austria playing so well. It's the second and third effort that's really giving them that advantage. Nice left hand by Ermacora over the net for the winner. And just everything going the way of the Austrians. The Brazilians, you can just tell, they're trying to shake these Austrians, but they just won't go away. They just keep fighting back.
And timeout called by Brazil. Guto, has he picked up a niggle somewhere?
No.
Well, if he has, he's not showing it.
Brazil, you can see, just came out of the block so hot. And
it doesn't look 100%, does he? He is really panting.
He does look a little fatigued right there. Maybe just out of breath. I don't think anything to be concerned about. Guto, he just goes hard every single time. But you are right, he looks a little bit weary. It's been a long week. And he's going 100%. Some long rallies have expended quite a bit of energy. And it has been so hot, the temperatures at times over 60 degrees Celsius down on center court, up to 38 degrees the temperature, almost 100 Fahrenheit.
He's worn it again in the face, Ermacora. Definitely needs to work on his technique, that is for sure.
Yeah, that can be dangerous. Here it is, right off the face. He needs to have his face looking down at the sand, and that would actually make his block more formidable and press his shoulders over the net. But
can't accuse him of not looking at the ball.
Yeah, he'll learn. Just 23 years of age. He's got a really bright future ahead of him.
Gone completely off the radar here. And at the technical timeout, it's a 5-point lead to Brazil. And Austria, well, maybe it's just right the ship and get yourself ready. Get yourself ready for the third set.
Well, I don't know about just yet. I mean, we're just at the technical timeout. We're halfway through. They have time to turn this thing around.
Look at that. all at Pristauz in this one, mainly all at Pristauz in this second set.
Yeah, complete flip of strategy for the Brazilians here in their placement in the second set. Going over to Pristauz, he hasn't necessarily given away a lot of points, and we kind of got a glimpse of why they didn't start on Pristauz, because a very efficient player, very explosive, but it seems to be working a little bit better. I think that Pedro Solberg has a better opportunity of blocking Pristauz, and they didn't think that was the case at the opening whistle, but now Brazil's starting to really enforce their will on this young Austrian duo.
Solberg floats it to Pristauz. Now, can Pristauz find a kill? Yes, he can.
Pristauz getting it done. Both these players started playing regularly on the FIVB Tour in 2016. Their career best finish taking place in Langkawi, Malaysia. And contrast on the other side of the net, Brazil. Solberg with 18 wins and Guto with 2 wins. So some experience, even though Guto, a youngster himself at 23 years of age, Solberg has all the experience.
Ermacora unable to make the block. Off Ermacora. No, not off Ermacora, off the net cord and wide.
Ball hit the top of the net and went out of bounds, and we saw Guto kind of panting, a little out of breath at the technical timeout. Maybe a little low on energy, hitting the top of the tape and out of bounds, but unfortunately for Austria, they give that ball right back, right when you think they're getting a little momentum.
Brazil trying to just eke a few more seconds out between the points. A little chat before every serve at the back of the court.
Yeah, whatever you need to do. If you're a little tired, you want to slow things down, clean the glasses. This is a nice use of the block by Pristauz, tooling the block of Pedro Solberg.
Yeah, nice. Perfect depth.
4-point lead, a solid lead. And this was how Brazil wanted to approach that first set. You know, but Austria just wouldn't go away. Right now, they've chipped away Brazil and increased that lead. They have a little bit of a cushion, but Brazil does have all the pressure. There you see the blocking signals. That's to communicate with your defender where you're going to go so you don't double up on the same part of the court.
Guto goes down the middle.
There's a little love between the two players. It had been quite chippy and frustrating for the Brazilians, especially in that first set. And you see the momentum starting to swing. They're starting to kind of get their groove.
I think we'll see Pristauz receiving a lot of serve in the third set.
I think Pristauz is going to get the majority of the serves the rest of this match for sure. Ermacora just really playing on an extremely high level in terms of his offensive percentage and kind of catching the Brazilians off guard in that first set.
Now, here's the chance. He's there again, Ermacora.
Just too many chances. Brazil not able to put it away, and Austria challenging right there. Trying to get the one-handed block is Pedro. That doesn't work.
Oh, well, 2 service errors in a row from Austria. That's not going to help matters.
Yeah, service errors just kill the momentum. You know, you kind of just really kill any type of momentum that you have, and it's just a free point back to the opposition.
Oh, Guto, brilliant. Pedro, excellent. Guto, cute, but picked up by Ermacora. Sets by Pristauz. Well, I'm not sure what the Austrians were doing there, but they have completely messed it up, and it's 6 set points for Brazil.
Well, what happened, both Brazilians were at the net, so the Austrians tried to get a little cute, set the ball outside. It ended up way outside the antenna, and that's where things fell apart.
So, first set point on the Guto serve. Pristauz to save the first. Yep.
Pristauz getting the point when he needed to, but Brazil going to have 5 in a row here. It's going to take a miracle for Austria to come back here in the second.
For sure. Well, there's 3 saved. Oh, 3 saved.
Ball out of bounds. We've seen some comebacks in this tournament. It's never over until you get that final point. And sometimes when you get 1 point away, things start to get tricky.
There you go. Second set wrapped up at the 3rd time of asking, 21-16. We're going to a decider. And, well, Austria need to sort out their attacking play. Pristauz has not been up to it at the moment.
Players, captains meet with the head referee. They do a coin flip here to see who serves and who receives. But remember, in this 3rd set, it's quick. It's to 15 points. There's no technical timeout, and you only get 1 timeout per team. So do not find yourself in a hole in the 3rd.
So confirmation, it's 1 set all. And what do the stats tell us, Dane?
Well, they've been relatively equal. 3-1 in blocking for Solberg, Salgado, and tied up in that ace category. So I haven't seen domination either way. The strategies have changed. The Brazilians going away from Ermacora and going to his partner Pristauz as we look at Brazilian spike direction. 44% down the line, 56% cross court. So basically pretty equal. The Brazilians, a varied offense. And let's see what they can do in the 3rd. Well, they started off going to Pristauz. You know, and Ermacora earned this. In the 1st set, they went to him every time. And he said, I'm going to step up to the challenge. And Austria got the win. Brazil changed that strategy. And they're going to give Pristauz everything he could want here in the 3rd. It's a big challenge for Pristauz, the 21-year-old, but he has the offense to do it.
There are only 2 matches left out on court. This is one of them. Yeah. Match that's just finished on court 2 saw Herrera and Gavira, the Spanish pair, beat Vielak and Brill of Poland, and so the winners of this match play Herrera and Gavira.
Herrera and Gavira, strong, consistent team, been on tour forever from Spain.
That's a well-placed roll shot. And I'll bring you up to date with the match on court 3. The Olympic bronze medalist, Brouwer Musen, in real trouble in the third set against the Belgian pair of Koeklon and Van Walle. They are 10-5 down in the third. Or 5-10 down in the third, I should say.
Well, that's very surprising. The Netherlands, usually big game hunters. They have really big tournaments when it counts. And for them to get eliminated in the round of 32 would be quite the upset.
Well, they've still got Baron Horse and Van Garderen in the draw. Certainly, Bram and Musen would have been the more fancied of the two. Oh, great get from Guto. Now can he pick himself up and finish? No, he can't, because Pristauz is blocking, and Pristauz goes cross court and wins the point. Now, that might well lift them.
Talk about expending energy. A beautiful succession of saves by the Brazilians. Look at this thing, and then the one-handed poke set by Pedro Solberg, and then a cover with the right hand. This goes over the net. That's where the problems begin. Guto, he's quick, but he's not that quick. Had to exert all sorts of energy running from one side to the other, and he comes up just a little bit short.
So 3-all. Pristauz with the serve. Oh, the set looks close to the net. Ermacora gets a bit of it. Now, Guto. That is some pass from Guto, but Ermacora has the advantage, and he makes no mistake. Guto is spending a lot of energy in a losing cause, isn't he?
I can't believe it. Guto giving everything he has on these last couple of plays. Look at this set. From a good 40 feet, maybe 50 feet off the net, he puts it right on top for Pedro. Almost gets the winner there, but Austria's waiting in the wings, and they put the ball away. Guto stays down on the sand for some time. He just can't believe it. Maximum effort, but no results.
Well, timeout call by Brazil, possibly just to give Guto a chance to get his breath back. And also, you do feel that Austria are building a bit of momentum here. Incidentally, Dane, Brouwer and Musen are out. They've lost 2-1 to the Belgian pair, so the Olympic bronze medalists are gone.
Well, that is a big upset, and that's what happens. Some interesting matchups in the first round, and top teams can get eliminated. And we're seeing one right here. These Austrians, the 40th seed in the tournament, the last team to get in on a wild card entry, and they are on top of Guto and Pedro in the third set. Anything the Brazilians do, it seems like the Austrians have an answer.
So 4-all, final set. It's getting kind of dark out there now. Got another about 45 minutes before the sun sets, although the thick cloud will make it darker quicker. They are really fighting here, aren't they, the Austrians?
They have that never give up attitude. You have to love it. Look at the cover. And then Pedro Solberg finds himself in no man's land, and Pristauz elevating up the ladder and just snapping that ball straight down. You got to put a block up there if you're Solberg.
Again, Solberg sold Pristauz cross court and went down the line.
5-all in the third. Nobody could have predicted this, especially the Brazilians, who have really been in shock here, trying everything that they can, but they cannot shake the Austrians.
The service error won't help.
And that ball crushed by Pedro Solberg. You know, Pedro Solberg also has a couple of sisters that play. Carolina Salgado Solberg playing with Maria Antonelli in this event. And also a sister, Maria Clara. And his mom was a fantastic player, playing with the legendary Jackie Silva back in the day, with a few tournaments to their name, as Ermacora gets the crushing cross court.
They're bouncing inside the Red Bull Arena. Guto. Oh, that's unlucky from Pristauz.
It's very interesting how dark it has gotten out here. This match beginning at around 6:45, and this arena, I don't believe it's equipped for lights. Haven't had night matches, but it is really dark with the cloud cover right now. I wonder if it is affecting any of the visuals from the players. You can see all the players' sunglasses have been put away, and it's getting late at 7:45 local time here in Vienna.
Yeah, and it's also hard to pick the ball coming out of the crowd. So tough conditions. If it's not the heat, it's the light.
And that's what you get with beach volleyball. So many varying conditions all the time.
Solberg really laid into that one.
I think everybody in the arena is a little bit shocked right now. This team, the last entry into the tournament, is hanging on. They won't go away. They keep fighting, and it's really awesome to see. Can they close it out? 7 points away till we get to 15 and hopefully have a winner.
Just trying to get too cute, Pristauz. And a point on serve, vital at this stage.
And that's what the Brazilians are waiting for. It's like, you scouted this team. They make unforced errors. Why aren't they making them here tonight? And that's what can happen when you have such a crowd behind you and you really rise to the occasion.
You know, the Austrians have called a timeout now, and those guys in the crowd up there, they must have about, it means full speed, and basically they've got, I don't know how many letters they've got up there, that they keep putting up different messages almost every point. It's fantastic. They'll be knackered come the end of this. They're supporting, putting up messages. It's been very amusing to watch as we see some stats on the blockers.
Yeah, 22 successful attempts and 3 blocks for Brazil, 19 successful attacks, and just 1 block for Ermacora. So Brazil winning both of those categories as the Brazilians try to strategize and get a little separation. If you're Brazil, you do not want this thing to end up 12-all, 13-all, right down to the wire. You want to get a cushion, and you want to do it right now.
Well, of course, because a net cord might just drop on your side of the net. You can't legislate for that, and suddenly you're facing match point. Ermacora, Pristauz does brilliantly well, but he needs to finish here. Guto with the dig. Can he finish? Off Ermacora's head once again. And there is the 2-point cushion.
Well, look at that play alone, what it took. Pedro Solberg had a block what looks like was a winner, and it's covered by Pristauz. And then look at this hit by Pristauz, and Guto controls it perfectly. That is a rifle of a hit. And he gets up and he's able to transition another shot off the face of Ermacora.
Of course, if you put your head down, you can actually get your arms closer together as well, can't you?
That's exactly what I said earlier. It would be a better formed block. He will learn that over time. As we mentioned, just 23, Ermacora.
They need this point here, do the Austrians. And they get it now. They need points on serve now. You don't want to be having to get points on serve, like you said. It's 14-12 or 13-11. Ermacora serves to Pedro Solberg. Guto with the set. Solberg rolls it, gets half a touch off Ermacora. Allows Pristauz to get there. That is some shot from Ermacora. How about that for touch?
Well, the player, Pristauz, who has all the touch. Ermacora is more of a power player, but he pulls out a page from Pristauz's book, and he drops it short. The Brazilians are completely caught on their heels. What a creative shot right there. So smart by Ermacora.
Go to Pedro Solberg. It's a tough one to deal with for Solberg. Here's the little ding shot. Pristauz is there. Can he finish it? Oh, you bet he can. Oh, Austria from 8-10 to 11-10.
Unbelievable. It's almost as if this is destiny for this 40th seeded team from Austria. Look at that dig. Pristauz laying it out with a right arm. And then the big double arm lift, no block at the net. He goes right to the right of Guto's position, and wow.
About 45 miles per hour. And spike, now 11-10. What has the closing of this third set got in store? Again, they go to Pedro Solberg, straight over. And onto the chest of Ermacora. He wasn't expecting the second touch from Guto.
I wasn't either. When you're a right side player and you're right-handed, to hit that ball over on two, the ball has to cross your body, and Guto's not the tallest of players. That was a high difficulty shot.
Pristauz receives. Over the head, back pedals. Guto gets that, but he can't control it. 12-11. Well, I tell you what, nobody's left since the Doppler horse game has finished. And the crowd went nuts when they won. I think they'll go even more nuttier if this pair manage to get the better of the Brazilians, because this would be unexpected for sure. But there's a long way to go in this third set. Off the head again. What's that, 3 or 4?
Oh, that has got to be frustrating. He's got to put that head down. I think you're right. I think it's happened four times. He's taken a lot of blows to the face.
12-all, the floated serve to Pristauz. What can he do? Oh, Solberg does well. The joust into the backcourt from Solberg. 13-12 Brazil.
It looked like Solberg might have lifted the ball at one point, but you can't challenge that. That is a judgment call. You see the referee saying, you gotta go away. Unchallengeable. A discrepancy of a double contact or a lift situation, and that's where the play just took place. Smart poke shot to the deep corner to finish things off. That is a very important point.
It is. Now, if he can win a point on serve, it's going to be 2 match points. Floated to Pristauz. Huge pressure on Pristauz here. And he delivers. He delivers. But now it swings to Ermacora. Ermacora needs to try and find a point on serve.
Remember I said moments ago, if you're Brazil, you do not want to be 13-all. You want to get a cushion. But that's exactly where they are right now.
Floated to Pedro Solberg. Oh! Was it touched? Yes, it was. It was touched. So it is a match point to Brazil. Ermacora not challenging it. Good spot by the officials.
That ball was hit so flat and so out of bounds. so fortunate for Solberg to get the touch.
So the first match point for Brazil. Pristauz, unwavering, fires it down. It is going off in here. So Pristauz serves to Guto, changing it up. Guto goes cross court, Pristauz can't deal with it. Match point number 2.
A little sneaky move there going to Guto, and he decides to go around the backside. High level of difficulty, that offense, but it pays off for Brazil. Will Austria give up a point? That's the question. So tenacious.
Floated to Ermacora this time. Pristauz goes over the second time. Off the chest of Guto. Oh my word, how close was that? What a way that would have been to finish the match. But relief for all the Austrian fans inside the Red Bull Arena as it goes out.
Look at Guto, he does this often. He almost controls that ball into the court with his chest.
I think he means to do that.
Oh yeah. It's definitely part of his defense. I've seen him do it multiple times. The funny thing is he almost directed the ball into the court, which was just absolutely amazing, his versatility and agility.
Well, in all that, we've missed a service error from Ermacora that gives a third match point to Brazil. Guto with it. Guto goes to Ermacora. Ermacora hasn't asked me to do too much attacking, puts it into the block of Salgado, and Brazil survive a huge scare. They were pushed all the way by very unfancied Austrian teams in terms of seeding, but my word, they acquitted themselves really well. Look what it means to Pedro Solberg. Oh, it's a real shame that a team had to lose that because it was such a high-level game of beach volleyball, but it is Austria that go home, and they can take a lot of pride for this. Pedro Solberg knows that he was given a real test, as does Guto, and your heart goes out to the Austrians, but Brazil dug deep, they hung in there, and they make it through to the round of last 16.
I thought that was just an incredible performance by Austria. They were so persistent and they just never gave up. But also Brazil, they could have got frustrated and ended up throwing it away. Here's that last move by Pedro Solberg. He stuffs it down, motions to the crowd, to the group of Brazilians that are here, and gets the stuff down. Yeah, this means a lot to Pedro Solberg because he's played for 16 seasons and he's never won a world championship. And he would love to get the opportunity to do so.
They changed it up towards the end, starting to go to Ermacora, who hadn't done a lot of attacking, had he, during the second set and most of the third set. But when it came to the crunch, they asked him to do some work, and he wasn't up to the job, sadly, from an Austrian perspective. There it is, 2-1 to Brazil. A thoroughly entertaining game of beach volleyball. The stats, here they are. And well, Austria are doing more attacks, but more blocking. And that fifth block, the all-important block that wins Brazil the match. Okay, let's get down onto the court and get some reaction from the Brazilians. There with our reporter, Julius Brink.